Welcome, welcome. Me, are very excited to be here tonight. We have lots of great ideas. Hopefully, you'll love all of them. But if you just take away one, then that's kind of a good thing too. So, Summer Fashions 2 is the name of our webcast tonight. I get so many questions for what would you do with this fabric, or what do you think of this combination, or all of those ideas. So, I thought I would just give you a spin on my thoughts. That's it. That's all it is. But I took the grade 8, the base pieces, kind of mixed them with fabrics, and then went from there. And I just had way too much fun, and I have some new things. You know, whenever I go to a workshop, where I was in Breckenridge over the weekend at Colorado Fabrics and saw so many of you, there's always such great takeaway. Just such great takeaway. So just like over the weekend, there's just a lot of great takeaway. But one thing I wanted to mention to you, and Spiffy is coming up this week, is at Breckenridge. The last morning I sat down, there was X number of women, and they each did, 6 muslins each. I don't know, pick a number, 5, whatever the number is. And if you extrapolate that, I sat down and I asked them to list all the fitting things we did to all of their muslins. And of all the women and all the muslins, there was 20 things we did. 7 of those pertained to the pant and 13 pertained to the top. So not right now, but maybe in a couple weeks, I'm going to just do a webcast on those things. They are the same things we've done before, but I thought it might be helpful if we pull it together, and I'll show you each of those as to how they were done. That's it. So 20, I mean, that includes shoulder angle. These are really easy alterations. So the message is you can do this. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. All right. So tonight we're going to start. I don't even know where to start. I've got way too many. But I do want to start. I want to include the pattern of the month. I want to give you one more pattern of the month. And this I really just did because we had one in the workshop, and Renee brought it, and it was 4013 Vince's dress, the pattern of the month, but all the pieces were put together. So, and there was that's the one I have on, there was a little slash up the front. So I'm going to bring up the picture of Vince's back, 4013 back, and I'm going to show you what's different. Now you can't see the one I have on, but when you take the pieces and when you overlap all of them, like the back has 5 pieces, and you can just overlap them and they make the back, and just cut it as one, and that's what I've done. My back is one solid one. And then you can take the front and you can overlap it the same way, and when you do that, piece number 1, piece number 2, and piece number 3, when you overlap piece number 3, you'll see there'll be French darts coming out from where those 2 can't all overlap. So you just sew the French darts, which is what I did on this. And so I did, again, all it as one piece. However, at the bottom, can we make that picture just a little bit larger? At the bottom, I'm going to show you, and it's piece number 6. And this dress was really cute. Now, this dress was done in stripes, but it doesn't necessarily need to be in stripes. I did it all in one piece, and I just really like it. So I'm going to show you, not the back. We're going to leave the back exactly like it is. But here on the front, is that okay? Just here on the, okay, I'm getting direction. Here on the front, you're just going to take that one piece. Well, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but anyway, just right there, you're going to take that piece and put a little slit in there. The drawing's actually too small. I should have gotten a bigger drawing. But all you're going to do is take an angle. Just take an angle out of the front and just make a slit. And what that does is it lengthens the body. It really looks cute when it's long, but it has an opening. You could do it at the side seams. The only thing I want to introduce to you is that all the pieces can be used together, and that when they do, you want to preserve the French darts and then make a little slit either in the front or the sides, and it's just really cute all in one fabric. And that way You don't have to use the stripes. You don't have to do any of that. And you can also make the dress any length you want it. So that's what I have on. I just really like it. And somewhere down here, there's a slit. All right. Okay, so that was just something I wanted to do for a POM 4013 Vince's dress. You still have, I think tomorrow is the last day. Yeah, Wednesday's the 1st. So tomorrow's the last day. Today and tomorrow's the last day. All right, so then let's go back again to the whole concept of the grade 8. Actually, just a little bit before we do that, I want to do one other thing. There's something called the Santo wrap, S-A-N-T-O, Santo wrap. And I did one for you because it's a summertime wrap. I actually did 2 because I wanted you to see them in different fabrics. So this is the first one. And this is a new fabric that I just put up. And this is 1876. It's a microfiber, but it's a beautiful border print. So when I did this, I did the border print at the bottom and put the wrap at the top. Now this is pattern number 211. And what you want to do is come off the front, and I went 10 inches more out. That's totally styling, but that's what I did. I took the pattern and then went out 10 more inches. And then once I came out 10 more inches, I went down straight to the bottom. That's it. The back, whatever length you're adding to the side, and I added 8 inches onto the side of this, you add that to the back also. So that's it. No collar, no sleeves. It's just a wrap. So the Santo wrap, what it will do is it'll show you 5 different ways to tie this little wrap. And it's just meant to be a cover-up, but I'm going to show you another version of this that I think is just really, really cute as well. All right, so the Santo wrap, S-A-N-T-O, when you get it, they have this little coconut button. We don't have a little coconut button, but we're going to show you the different ways that they said to tie it. The first is you just take it and tie it right in the front. And you actually pull it up like that and just leave it tied like that. It just kind of covers, and it's just real cute. You can leave it obviously hanging down like that. The next way is you take these ends again and you come up and around the neck, and it's really cute worn around the neck like so. All right, so that's the next way. There's 5 different ways they showed. They showed through their little coconut shell, they showed wearing out, they showed tied in the front, they showed tied around the neck, and then the other way they showed was just around the waist. They tucked the armholes down, they took the same 2 points, and then they wrapped this around. And when you go to YouTube and do Santo wrap, then you'll see all the different ways. They'll show you in detail. Okay, but we used pattern 211. I did cut the armholes a little bit bigger. Let me show you this. How much bigger doesn't make a difference. Just as long as they're a little bit oversized is what you want them. And then you can go from there. Just a fun little wrap for summer. And I'm always looking, as you know, for just great fun little wraps. All right, so then what I did now I did my little collection. I did the wrap, and I did the wrap again. I'll show you a different way of doing that. But I went back to the grade 8. So what I did is I chose 2 bottoms, I actually chose 3 bottoms and 5 tops. And my goal was to mix and match them all together, not just in color, but also in silhouette, so that the silhouettes would really match. When we did it before, we used basics. We used like the tank top, and we just used basics. But I kind of went outside that loop a little bit. But more than anything, I wanted you to see that really every time we go to do a new collection, I'm going to call it, we should think about the grade 8. We should think about, does this piece relate back to the grade 8? Does it create a new grade 8? Where does it fit in? And that way, as we expand our wardrobe, more and more of our wardrobe will coordinate with other things. And that's the goal, so that we don't walk into our closet and say, gee, what do I have to wear? So my 2 base pants that I already had in my wardrobe were my jeans, my blue jeans, because I wanted this Rebecca Taylor fabric that's come in. It's blues. It is just the most beautiful fabric. And I know so many of you can't touch it, and I know that's such a drag, and I'm sorry. But it's just simply pretty. So I've really been wanting to do something with it, and this was a great excuse to kind of delve into it. So in this collection, what I did is I did a seersucker pant, and this was actually Theory. The seersucker's Theory. But I did a seersucker because seersucker is so popular right now. And then I did the bottom, also the skirt, the limbs, the 2516, and we did a little collection, the summer pattern collection that's on now. It's $211 for making this. It's $25.16 for making the skirt and $15.16 for making the jacket. We put those 3 patterns together. Hopefully everybody got the patterns they wanted. We had a little sale over the weekend, so this way everybody's set for summer and got the patterns you wanted. All right, so I don't think it matters where we start, but I did, again, I've got 4 bottoms, and I've got 4 bottoms, but 2 I'd already made, so I went ahead and made 8 new pieces. I'm not sure if that's legal or not, but I did it anyway. And then I think I just got to where I kept sewing. And whenever I'm in a workshop, I really do miss sewing, so I come home and sew even more. And then plus I get ideas, I get inspired. All right, so let's start with 1516, and this is the jacket, and the fabric I used for 1516 is 1687. It's a beautiful, it's 100% cotton. This is the fabric. The jacket itself is unlined. And so what I did on the inside is all the seams, and I'll just kind of open that up for you, all the seams are taped. Every seam is taped. So there's no linings and there's no serging. Serging is not the finish here, but every single one of those seams are taped. And it's really, it's kind of mindless to do. I mean, I just tape the seam with a bias tape, and I used white. I just tape all around, and then just sew it together. So nothing's done on the serger. It's all done on the sewing machine, and it's a lot of fun, and it's beautiful on the inside. It's just really, really pretty. So that is 100% cotton. It's a beautiful jacket. It's a blue. It's a solid, and so it gives me lots of room to go with. I didn't make any changes to it, but I did want to show you a couple things when you're doing an unlined jacket. And we have a lot of new viewers, and I think a lot of you don't know necessarily about this great tie interfacing and that we use on jackets. And what tie interfacing is it's literally what they put on the inside of men's ties. It's a bias, cut on a bias, and it's a strip, and you pull it. And as you pull it from notch to notch, you turn the machine to baste and pull. So the stitching is not as often, but what happens is that bias retracts itself and it pulls up and makes that beautiful sleeve cap. So you can see that is not gathered, that is eased. So that will be beautiful once I set it into my jacket. And you can just see it just makes that little cap. It's just gorgeous. It's just so pretty. And then also when you're doing unlined jacket, you want to cover the bottom of the shoulder pads. So the top part will be against the jacket, but when you look in, you want to cover the bottom. And so there is a pattern in this jacket to cover those shoulder pads, just so you know. And then again, you can tape the edges or serge them, whatever you decide. So I just wanted you to see those 2 things. That in unlined jacket, people say all the time, oh, unlined jacket is so much faster. Actually, for me, an unlined jacket takes more time because you think about it, each seam is done 3 times because you're taping, and then sewing them together. But I still love it, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait to put one more sleeve in. That's for tomorrow. I wanted to leave that out so you could see it, and then I get to wear it. It's perfect for summertime. And then with it, what I did is Lim's bias skirt. It's 2516. It's the stripe down here, and I don't know so much that you can see it's the stripe. I'm going to give you the fabric number just so you know, you can kind of open it up and look at it. It's 1688. Again, it's 100% cotton. It's a beautiful combination. The jacket is short, very fitted. The skirt is full and flowy. It's just really beautiful together. And then, of course, I did some other mix and match things so that it was just more than that one outfit. Okay, and I didn't make any changes to Lim's bias skirt. It's done just like it is. It's got a little invisible zipper in the side. I left it all like it is. All right, so I want to show you this little tank top. And this little tank top would be my white top. And, of course, my white top can really go with all of it. But because it's white, I wanted to do just a little extra something with it. And I was at Nordstrom's. This is pattern number 195. It's just the front and the back. I left it sleeveless. And I'm wondering if I can pull well, I think I can describe it okay. I hope you can see that neckline. It's just really beautiful. I'll pull this back just a little bit here. And very easy to do, but I was at Nordstrom's shopping, as always. And there was a girl, and she had this top on. And I mean, it just really caught my eye. I'm just always looking for something different. It really caught my eye really quick. I've seen it before. I just hadn't seen it done this way. And I just told her I loved her blouse, a short conversation. And she let me take a picture of it. And that picture was really helpful because it allowed me to kind of remember things that I didn't remember once I got home. But here's what you're going to do. It's very easy to do. And really, I wasn't sure it'd work, and it just worked really easily. It's a knit, so you can do this with any knit. You're going to make a slit, and that slit needs to be at least 2 inches in length. Now make sure you start far enough away from the neckline so you don't go into that neckline. And I'm going to bring it up to the camera here just a little bit so you can kind of get a close view on what's going on there. So your slits are each 2 inches long, and they're each a 1/2 inch apart from each other. And you go all the way around the neck edge. You could do the back if you wanted. You could continue. If you're going to do the back, I would recommend you sew it together first so that because your stitching needs to be continuous. All right, so once you've made all your slits, and what I did is, we have these little tailor chalk now, the blue and the red, the different colors. That tailor chalk was really easy because I could use a ruler and literally put the tailor chalk mark, or some kind of marking pen, whatever you want to use, and I could mark it, and then I could cut right on the line. And then you're just going to flip the middle over the opposite direction. And then you're going to start from one shoulder, and as they're flip them all the same way. You're just going to sew right down the middle. When I was looking at the photo that I had taken, I was trying to decide, was there something behind it? And somebody else looking at the picture said, no, the thread is enough. And I said, no, there's got to be something behind it. I was wrong. There's nothing behind it. So literally just the thread connected holds the next one in place. So just as you sew, you flip the middle right towards where you're sewing, and you just continue to sew all the way around the neck edge. And I just love it. I just think it's the prettiest little neck edge, and it's just a white cotton little t-shirt. What I did with this white t-shirt is I used 1659 as the fabric. It's just white cotton knit, but it's going to look great under the jacket with the skirt. It's going to work great in several other things that I've got, and it would also look good under this wrap. Sorry, I made another wrap. So this wrap then I did again, except this time I kind of elevated the fabric. So this is a silk, and this particular fabric is 1778. This is also Santo wrap. Santo, S-A-N-T-O. I'm saying that funny. So you can still, I just thought it'd be really pretty to have it out of very nice fabric, and I can't put it down and hold it at the same time. But this, you can see, this will go around the neck, this will go around the neck, and you can do the same thing. So it could be not necessarily casual that you do it in, but it could be dressy also. And I just think it makes such a beautiful neckline that I just really, really liked it. You could also do it in the front, just like the other. The only difference is with this one is I didn't make it as long, and I made it out of silk. So it's just really beautiful. It's a really beautiful top. So I only added 5 inches on the bottom of this. And instead of, when I added it at the neckline, instead of going straight down, I went ahead and curved it back in. So it had a little more cascade of a waterfall when it opened up. And then also what I did is, because I wanted a little bit of a sleeve, I made it a kimono. Because I had already made this white top, and I wanted to wear it with my jeans. So the jeans is what my goal is for this, or these pants back here that we'll get to in just one second. Either one, I'm going to wear it with those. And because I didn't have a sleeve on the tank, I wanted some type of sleeve on this. So I made a little kimono sleeve. And what I did with that, you guys, I know you know how to do the kimono now. You just take the sleeve, you fold it in half, you overlap the seam allowance at the shoulder, and then you leave about a 1 inch gap down here. All right, and then you just make a little kind of a little circular connection between the sleeve and the body. Very easy to do. I just wanted to show you that again. If you go back to our YouTubes and Google kimono, you'll see that we'll have it. So you can see on this wrap now, instead of having those big armholes, I went ahead and I had a little cap sleeve, little kimono sleeve. And that way I could wear it over sleeveless and it still looks really good and really summery. See, I told you I just made way too much. but I was really having fun. All right, questions. Did you make the armhole smaller on 195 for the sleeveless white top? No, because my knit, it would depend on your armhole, but my knit and my sleeveless are the same armhole. So many times I talk to you about, you'll have 4 armholes. You'll have your knit, your sleeveless, your knit, your blouse, and your jacket. But my sleeveless and my knit are the same. So when I do my knit and I do it sleeveless, I don't have to change the armhole. Okay? So be aware, you might have to, I just didn't have to. Okay? All right, sounds good. How's everybody? I don't know about y'all, but we are having wonderful weather here in Dallas, and I can't wait tomorrow to get out because it's a cold front. It's like only 100 degrees. That's like really exciting. A cold front. No, I think actually it got down to 80s today. But I was, couldn't go outside today. But tomorrow. Okay, so then I want to show you as I continue in this combination is I made a cowl. And this is so beautiful on. I mean, you guys, because I make them for myself, I just really enjoy when they're finished, and they're so pretty. And just like you all, when you finish something, it's just kind of fun. But anyway, I can, again, wear these with all these different things. I guess I don't need to keep saying that. What I liked about this cowl when I saw it, and this cowl, the fabric is 1691. It's a crepe. It's a cotton poly crepe. There's a dull side and a shiny side. And typically I would have said to you, use the dull side. But I just loved the shiny, and it was just going to be a little bit. It's just going to be a little cowl. And so I decided I wanted to use the shine, and I did. So the cowl is there. There's only 2 pieces. I did cut it 6 inches longer, and then I put the gathers in the side. And I had seen a top at the store like that, and I loved it. I think because it was duplicating the cowl of the neck and the cowl of the side, kind of. It's really pretty on, and it's really just beautiful with pants, with slacks. I love it with my jeans. You can put a little sweater over the top or leave it sleeveless, either way. And really quick sewing. Don't forget on the inside of your cowl, I always put like some little zippers in there. Some zippers I have left over from other projects. And it really gives a nice drape to that front of that cowl. And then on the side, the other day when we did a YouTube, and I did it on Max Mara, and it was the circles, and it was a 3/4 sleeve, and on the 3/4 sleeve they took a piece of elastic and they sewed it right into the seam, and that's exactly what this is. So I cut this longer. I figured how far I wanted the gathering to go, so measure that, take 3/4 of that, and then cut your elastic that long. Just literally sew it right into the seam, and it will gather up. And it's just a beautiful finish. Just make sure that it's long enough so that when it gathers up, you still have the length you want in the front. And because I'm going to wear this with jeans, the length didn't make that much difference, but I did want it to be long enough that it didn't pull up too short. So my elastic, I just took my 2-inch wide elastic, I cut it to 1/4 inch, and then just sewed it in. And you always go 1 to 1.5. So if it measures 16 inches is what you're going to do, then you would do, your elastic would be 12 inches. So you take 3/4 of whatever that number is, and that will give you your 1 to 1.5. I hope my math's right on that. Are we okay with that? This also looks really pretty with the skirt that I did over here. All right, so it's a whole sea of blues, which I love because the black and white are very, very classic, and yet the blues are also really pretty together. And what I like about the blues is I love jeans in the summertime, and jeans work really well. Also, because I made the sleeveless cowl, this little Santo wrap will look great over this also. And it gives me a chance to kind of change it up a little bit. Okay? So that works. Okay. So as my bottom, what I chose was the Jags pants. Jags woven yoga pants, and they're 3414 is the name of the pattern, and I used 1860. It is the seersucker, and it's kind of back in the corner, and I'm not so sure you can see it that well, but I'm going to tell you something, I just love these pants. I cannot wait to wear them. I have not worn them. I made them last week and just kind of stuck them on the mannequin and stuck them to the side. But you know what I love about pants like that in the summertime is they're so light. When I have a really light fabric, I don't make a capri because sometimes a capri with light fabric, it's just too, they don't drape well. So if it's a really light fabric, I'll go ahead and make a long pant so it has a better chance of draping well. Heavier fabrics, I'll have a tendency to go to a capri. But that's just me, but just think about that and see what you think. Is the front and back of each armhole identical, or do you need a different front and back for each of the 4 templates? You should have a front and a back, always. Even if it's the same, you should have a front and a back. And the reason why that is because if, as you age and you round it and somehow something changes with it, you can make the difference. I use a template for the front and I use a template for the back. I mean, I guess in theory, if they were really identical, that seems silly to have all those templates, but I would recommend for each of those you have a front and back. How did you make the cowl neckline? I used pattern 550, which is a cowl. I just used the pattern, the front, the back, that's all it was. This cowl has got to probably be one of the fastest things you can possibly make, and it's so beautiful and it fits so well. So that cowl is a great little pattern to have, pattern number 550. Did you use elastic for the gathers? I did. I just cut a strip, a 1/4 inch wide. Like I said, however much you want to gather, do 1 to 1.5, and then just sew it up that far and let it go, and it gathers beautifully. 1 to 1.5. If you're going to do 2 to 1, it's going to be too much. It's too much gathers for what typically is out there, so I'm going to recommend 1 to 1.5. Did you curve the hem at the side seams on the blue? No, that was like that. It was like that because I'm going to pull it down again and you can see it's just the bottom of the pattern. But once I put the elastic in the side, it pulls it up and it gives it that curved look. So just recognize that that was just kind of an after fact of what had happened. Okay? All right. How do you sew the zippers? Do they rub against your skin? No, the zippers are just, I mean, you could put them on the fabric if you think they would bother you. They've never bothered me. What I do is they're leftover zippers. Like I say, if I've stuck them in jackets or someplace decoratively, I've got a little pile next to my sewing machine. And I just cut off about 1 inch. And I cut off 2 1-inch pieces and I layer them so that they have nice weight, and I sew them right into the hem, you know, right into the, as I hem the neckline. So it just really pulls it down and helps it stay real. It's like little drapery weights, really, kind of the same thing. I've never been bothered. I guess you could cover that, or you could put it, the right side of the fabric is what's against your skin. You could put it up a little bit so that it was completely covered by fabric. It's never bothered me. I've never even thought that it might bother me, so I've never done anything different. Is that Cowl Blouse 550 in a woven fabric? It is. That fabric is fabric number 1691. It is a woven, so that front is turned on the bias. You'll need 2 yards because that particular fabric is not very wide. So that whole front is on the bias and the back is straight. What armholes did you use? I used my sleeveless armhole because the top was sleeveless. Can you use a soft drapey fabric for Sally's pants? You can. A Sally's pant would look great in almost any fabric. There's no gathers, it's real slim, it's darted, so you can do it in a heavier fabric, but I've done it in silks, I've done it in real lightweight rayons. In fact, the cover is a rayon fabric, just FYI. Okay? All right, we got it. Okay, so let's go on because we got more fun stuff. So with my seersucker pants back there, they're the best. Seersucker is everywhere. That is a cotton seersucker. It's wonderful. I don't know if I gave that fabric, but I'm going to give it to you. Again, just in case I didn't. But I've got to find it first. It is 1860. Okay, so now what I did is I played a little bit with, I felt like I had casual, and I felt like I had a jacket for maybe a little in between, and then I wanted a little dressy. And so I went back and did this top, and this is from episode we had a little while ago. It was called The Good Wife top. It was episode 69 on Let's Sew on YouTube. And so I did this in a blue velvet. Let me just give you the number. 1693. This is a silk velvet. It's absolutely stunning. And again, what I wanted it for was now if I was dressing up just a little bit, maybe going to dinner, I could throw on jeans and this little top and it would just be really, you know, a jacket. I wouldn't necessarily want to wear a jacket. That's kind of for business. My others were a little more casual. So this I wanted just to dress it up a little bit. So I'm not even going to go over this because, like I said, it's episode 69. It's called The Good Wife Top, just a different fabric. I started with pattern 115 and then just went out and show you how the numbers and how to do the rest of it. But I absolutely love it. And like I said, you could, you know, dress it up with jeans, or you could dress it up and do a nice slack or something like that. You could even put it over a sheath dress, and all of those would look terrific. But I just love it. And again, this is a silk velvet. Oh my gosh, it's, you know, the one thing about it is when I wear it, people just touch you because somehow that fabric they just want to touch, and they do. So just if you do something like that, just know that you'll get lots of hugs and touches and all those other kind of good things. All right, so then what we did, we've got the pants. Oh, when I was at the workshop, Allison had on a little dress that she had done, and she called it her travel dress. And she used pattern 4000, and I just really liked it. So I came home real quick and I just made one more, and it's out of pattern number 4000. Pattern number 4000 is the swing dress, and we used this is fabric 1689. It's a cotton velvet. It's a cotton velvet, but it has a stretch to it, and I love this. Now my plan is to wear this. I could wear it over my jeans, but I have my white leggings. Remember that was something else that I added in, and I thought it would be absolutely adorable with white leggings. So let me show you what she did. And for Allison, thank you. This is all from her. She had it on. And there's so many different ways you could do this. Now this is a velvet. So what you have to remember when you're dealing with a velvet is there is a nap, and so everything needs to go the same way. You could take pieces and flip them and go opposite directions. So I made the kimono sleeve. That's what I did first. All right, so I took the swing dress, took the sleeve that goes with it, and did the kimono. And it's really great for something like this. I think the kimono is when you're just wanting to, number one, sew quickly. You just don't want that set and sleeved. It's a little more of a relaxed look. I just love it. So I just want you to know how to do it, because you could take any pattern that has that set in and make it kimono just real quick. So 4000, I made the front and the back kimono. Then just below the dart line, I cut it off. So it's kind of like a little empire waist. Now again, I'm copying Allison. Okay. That's what she had done. She'd cut it off. Only in the front, I left the back solid and one piece. And then 4 inches from the front, so I did an 8-inch panel, I cut the middle off. So once I had cut the bottom, I came back and cut the sides. And let's bring up 4000. I can illustrate this for you, so it's a little bit easy. I've got the 4000 back up there, and I can draw it for you. Okay, so we're going to go to, what I did is I put the back on the fold. So here it's showing you that it has a seam right there. You're going to cross that out, and you're just going to put it on the fold. And I'm afraid these pictures are so little and my drawing skills are so bad, but I'm just going to kind of basically do it, okay? You make it an empire, and then you're going to make 2 lines like that. You got it. All right, and then what I did is I made pockets, because the pockets really just kind of make it cute and comfortable, and I love it. And again, when I put it on, and I put it on with, now it's a dress. You could make it a dress, but what I did is I made it a little bit shorter because I wanted to wear it with my leggings, like my white leggings. I really wanted to wear it as if I would travel. And so for me personally, if I'm going to travel, so that says to me I'm getting on an airplane, I just don't do dresses because I get too cold. So I'm going to always wear either a pair of jeans or a pair of leggings, something that covers my legs. I've got my pockets so I can throw everything in there, and I just think it's really cute. It's too big for this little mannequin because she's so skinny, but on me, I'm much bigger, and it actually fits and looks really cute. Just really like it. Very easy to sew, again, but it does have a nap. This is fabric $16.89. It's a cotton velvet. Just make sure all of your cutting is going in the same directions. I thought about when I was doing it, flipping the pockets or flipping the centerpiece, but you know, I decided that it would look like maybe I didn't do that intentionally. And so I decided to just keep it all the same direction. So that would be a good thing. So I just kept thinking it's going to look like it's upside down, or it's going to look like it's the wrong way or the wrong color. All right, so then will that ruffle work on a dress? Will that ruffle? The ruffle. Where would you stop the ruffle if you wanted the Max Mara top to be tunic length to wear over leggings? You'd have to, that's all style, you guys. It's totally your call. When I did that, I kind of warned you that if you did it tunic length, you know, it might look like it's hanging down and not look the best, because it might look like it's something odd. So you could do it tunic length. I think as I sit here and think about it, I'd probably stop the ruffle still at the waist, or just slightly below the waist. I don't think I'd take it all the way to the bottom of the tunic. I think it'd just be too much. What is the fabric number? Which one? The fabric number of this cotton velvet is $16.89. All right, so did you make any changes to the yoga pants leg style? I didn't do a thing. It's perfect. I mean, really, it's those pants, I just love them on. They're so cute. No, I didn't make any changes at all. I mean, I didn't put the back pockets on, but that's not a change, is it? I didn't put the back pockets on. I didn't want pockets on the back of my rear end. What pattern did you use for your dress? For my dress, this is 4013. This is the pattern of the month. Vince's dress. I just overlaid all the pieces so that the one front, one back, and a sleeve. There was only 3 pieces. I want to show you, okay, let's finish all the questions first. Does changing from, you'd like to see the cotton yoga pants more closely? Sure. They're on my little person back here, and my little person, you know, isn't real stable. But she is gorgeous. And I'm telling you, they look just like this on me too. They hang straight from the rear. They just fit really nicely. The pattern, it's, you know, I don't know who that pattern maker was, but it sure is a good job. I'm not sure what you want to see, but I'm just kind of turning that around so you can see, you know, maybe you're seeing something that you want to see. All right, she's a tall drink of water. She's got long legs, just like somebody else I know. It's all good. That's 3414. That's Jag's yoga pants. Now what I did is I actually pressed a crease in the front of those. It's completely optional, but with this seersucker, I just really liked the way the leg hung. So I pressed a crease. And when you're pressing a crease, don't press a crease above the crotch line. It's only from the crotch line down. And of course, you've got to make sure that you are very careful to cut this on grain. You know, that because it's a stripe. So you've got to be real careful, make sure that grain is straight. We had a situation where someone didn't cut it straight, and you know, when you don't cut a pant straight on grain, there's just nothing you can do to fix it. There's nothing except make shorts. Other than that, you know, there's not anything you can do. Okay, Vince's dress. Is the dress on the envelope cover the exact layout in the directions, or do I need to lay the pattern out differently to get the stripes going in different directions? So on Vince's dress, on each piece inside the pattern, there is the stripe that tells you the direction to get the look that's on the cover. So no, we have whatever pattern piece it is, we have the exact way it's supposed to be laid. There's a grain, it's not a grain, but there's a marking on the pattern, and it should follow the stripe. So we've done all of that for you. All you have to do is lay it down, single layer, cut, make sure the print is up. Clearly that's really important. Can't turn the print down or else it will ruin your, you know, layering. And we've done all of that for you. Okay? All right. So then I wanted to show you, we've got more and more, we're getting beautiful Theory fabrics. We're getting DKNY. We're just beautiful, beautiful fabrics. Because I've got so many, I've put them up at really, really low prices, and we have moved them very quickly. And I'm very excited about that because it gives me opportunity to buy more and see, you know, some beautiful stuff. All right, so what I'd like to do is there's a couple fabrics that we've got that are in the stores right now with Theory. And these are just blouse fabrics, but I'd like you to see them. So I'd like to go to 1867, Benjamin, if you'll pull that up. So 1867, this particular one, that is the seersucker. Now I did pants out of it. That is a jacket that's very close. You could do 1900, you could do 1500. Any of those jackets would just look super duper duper. So that's a seersucker jacket is what that is, and that's by Theory. All right, so just to give you an idea. And notice the little red on there, the little white shell underneath. It's a nice clean look. It's really good. All right, then let's pull up a next one. All right, this one is called the Thelma Plaid. 1864 is the fabric number on this that we've got. That was actually on a TV show, is what that one picture is. But that Thelma Plaid is by Theory, and that's fabric 1864. So I just wanted to show them to you. And then we've got one more. We'll show it to you here in just a second. And it's this one. I love this little black and white. It's great. Again, it's like classic blouse 600. You could square the bottom rather than making it curved like the pattern is. This is fabric 1867. So this also is just a really great fabric. They're all 100% cotton. They're beautiful fabrics. And I know you can't feel them, and I'm sorry you can't, because, you know, they're just really, really nice. Don't let the price fool you. We put them on for $12.99, you know, really low prices, 100% cotton. You just never find these fabrics. So I just wanted to make you aware of those. Okay, so we've got a little bit of time for questions, if we have them. I've had you guys find the time to sew. Remember, 3 seams a day, 4 seams a day. Literally, I got the jacket done as I was in Keystone or Breckenridge, wherever we were, and I just did a few seams a night. After everybody had kind of left the workroom, I just stayed and just quietly sewed away on my little jacket. All right, so that was a lot of fun. We had a great time in Breckenridge, by the way. Great dinners, great company, just a lot of fun. Okay.
What number is this one?
What number's, which one?
You just doubled?
Oh, the fabric number?
Yeah.
That fabric number is 1860. It's a seersucker. That's the seersucker. That's what I did the pants in. But just you should know that seersucker is so strong right now that you could do anything with it and you wouldn't go askew. Because I had made the jacket in the solid, I wanted to do a light seersucker. And then also I thought it'd be fun to wear just a little jean jacket with it also. Just a real jean jacket, like not a jean jacket, but a real jean jacket, and my white tank. This white tank is going to come in handy, and I know I'm going to wear it a lot. Just really like it. Love the neckline. I'm going to do more because they're just really fun to do. And I think if you found something that had a print on it and you reversed it, I just think you could just get a really cool effect. I'm thinking of a fabric that has one color on one side and one color on the other side. And then, of course, to do that on sleeves, it would just be really pretty, really fun. All right, so we'll finish up answering questions. If there are, what pattern did you use for the dress you have on? You're not listening, no, or maybe you're coming in late. This is the pattern of the month. Oh, I don't think I gave you the fabric, did I? This is the pattern of the month. It's Vince's 4013, but I just layered everything together. I layered all the pattern pieces together. This is 1605. It's an ITY knit. I absolutely love it. It feels like I don't have anything on, but clearly I do. But it's really light. A lot of ITYs are a little heavier. This is it's an ITY. It has great drape, but it's lighter, so it's really nice. I really like it. All right. We'll give it a minute and make sure we got everybody. Think we got everybody? All right, you guys, so if we end 8 minutes early, that means you have 8 more minutes to sew. That's what that means. So the whole goal is to get you sewing. I want you to think about the grade 8. That is really valuable to pull from all that work Laura did, you know, to create that little grade 8 effect. And to really, as you start to plan that wardrobe and get your fabrics and get your patterns and plan that little wardrobe, because that way it'll all pull in together. You guys know I'm busy. You know I've got lots going on. Make time to sew. You've got to make time for yourself and make time to sew. And I love my sewing. And a lot of times at night, I'll just come in and just, if I'm going to watch the news, I'll just sew while I'm watching the news rather than just sitting there. And I think it energizes me as opposed to tires me. So I hope you love it as much as I do. I'm not sure anybody can. I'm a little bit, you know, whatever. Can you show the velvety top behind you again? Sure. Sure. This is The Good Wife. This is, like I said, episode, I think it was 69. And you can go to that and it shows you the instructions. It shows you how to make it. It gives you the link where that was on the show. That's why we called it The Good Wife. It was actually by Lafayette 148. And this is just a beautiful silk velvet. So for me, I didn't want to take the silk velvet and really make it structured. I wanted it to be soft, just like it is. And so Anne's top was perfect. And to put it on the top of this, for me, just worked perfectly. Very unstructured and yet beautiful. Just beautiful. All right. Okay, I did that. What pattern did you use for the Santa wrap? That was 211. So that's why we did that little package for you, you guys. It's called the Summer, I don't remember what the name of it is, but it's on the very front page. And there's 3 patterns. They're reduced. So it's 211 for the Santa wrap, and then 1516 for the jacket, and 2516 for the skirt. It's those 3. So you get a nice little summer combination when you do those. And I'm having a problem with my shoulder and neck ratio. I wear 22 bust. The neck and shoulder is too large. Which instruction to watch? Well, when your neck and shoulder is too wide, just continue the shoulder seam up to the center and use a French curve and just redraw the neckline. So just continue the shoulder seam up, continue center front up, and it just gets smaller and smaller. So you can just make your whatever neckline size you want. If they're too wide for you, just keep going. That should sound, hopefully that sounds easy enough. Just keep going in. You can take your shoulder, you know, when you have your template, your sleeve armhole, I'm sorry, when you have your armhole template, you can put that at the shoulder seam and at the side seam and create whatever armhole you want wherever you want it. We have a wonderful lesson on that yesterday at Colorado Fabrics. Just so good to see so many people there, but it was really fun. Where exactly is the shoulder seam to fall on the shoulder arm of a shirt? There is no, you know, often I say this, you know, there are rules in pattern making, and then there are things that are up to us, and there are no pattern making rules. There's no anatomical alignment between a shoulder seam and the body, between a sleeve seam and the body. Typically in fashion, if you look at a woman's body and you go up the side seam, the shoulder seam will be straight up from the side as you look in the mirror. So kind of if you visually drew a straight line and went right up the body, bam, that's where the shoulder seam should be. If it's in farther than that, it's not wrong. It just has a tendency to look too small. And if it's wider than that, again, not wrong, but it has a tendency to look too wide. So generally, if you just look at your body in the mirror and just go straight up at the sides, that's where you want that shoulder seam to fall. Okay? Can you describe the slits on the neckline again? Sure. I'm actually gonna, can you bring me up, Benjamin, just a blank? Or something that is, just bring up a piece of anything. Let me just draw this for you. Large enough to where you can see. give us just a second because we didn't have a blank sheet of paper. So hang on just for a second and then I'll draw it for you. Does that work? Okay, so I'm going to just draw here.
Oops. You have to switch it to the drop tool.
Oh, would you do that for me? Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm going to draw, that's the neckline. You got to imagine with me, that's the shoulder seam. Wow, that's terrible. Okay. Here are your slits. Obviously they're exaggerated, you'll have way more, but that will give you the idea. Each of those slits is 2 inches in length and they are 1/2 inch apart. Now you could vary all of that. If they're shorter than 2 inches, when you go to flip them, they won't flip well. So you really have to have them at least 2 inches in length. I did them rounded around the neck edge so that they follow, we'll just take a look at this again. So you can see what they do is mine just follow the neck edge, because while they're 1/2 inch here, they're a little bit wider here at the bottom. And so they made this beautiful rounded part of the neck edge. So they need to be at least 2 inches long, like I said, so the middle can flip to the other side. Don't try to flip them twice. They just flip once. They just flip to the back side. And they flip right in the center. So you just cut the 2 inches. 1/2 inch in between each one is a good one. You could do them very tiny and make them 1/4 inch. You could do all kinds of things. But that's just what I did, and I really, really liked it. If you were to make some Bermuda length yoga pants to kayak or paddleboard, which material would you recommend? We've got some beautiful stretch cottons. We've got some seersucker. Lightweight cotton is what I would recommend. The reason being is you are going to get wet. Or possibly you're going to get wet, and you want something that dries really quickly, and cotton will dry really quickly, a stretch cotton. So we've got numerous ones on there. Just go in and search stretch cottons, and then it'll pull up the fabric numbers, and you can go and click on each of those fabric numbers. Okay? All right. All right, this was fun. It was so much fun. I appreciate you all being here. Hopefully, like I said, you'll have one good little takeaway that you can do. What's the most fun for me is I've gotten all the sewing done, and now starting tomorrow, I get to put on something new, and like every day this week. All right, so from Silhouette Patterns, happy sewing, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye for now.